In this video, I'm going to be going through all the features of the MSR Pocket Rocket 2 and share with you my experience of using it for over 7 months in very different and often challenging conditions. There are a few different MSR stoves. There is the Micro Pocket as well as the Pocket Rocket. And what MSR have done have combined the best features of both of these stoves into this one little stove. The weight is very lightweight. It comes in at 73 grams, which is 2.6 ounces. It is extremely compact and these pot supports fold away very, very compactly. The length is 1.3 inches, width is 1.7 inches and the height is 3.1 inches. I love the fact that it all fits so neatly inside my small titanium cook pot, along with a lighter, a small canister of fuel and also a bandana so that it doesn't rattle when you hike. It is so simple to set up. Even when wearing gloves. It includes this hard shell plastic carry case, which increases the overall weight to 119 grams or 4.2 ounces. The precision flame control works extremely well. There's so many stoves out there that doesn't have this feature, and it goes from simmer to boil so seamlessly. MSR state that this stove will boil 1 litre of water in 3.5 minutes. Now, I never found that to be the case. I always think it is a little bit longer. They probably did it in ideal conditions, but I would say normally it's about 4 minutes to 4 minutes 45. They do recommend using their fuel canisters, but I did use a complete different range with this stove and found them all absolutely fine. What I'm going to do today though is show you exactly how long it takes to boil 2 cups of water, which is about 500 mils. Now the reason why I'm doing that amount of water is because that's usually what you use when you're out camping, when you're cooking for a meal for yourself, or if you're just wanting a drink. It's usually what I boiled in one sitting. I'm using my Snow Peak Trek 700 pot, which is titanium. I'll use the lid over it. I've got no wind here whatsoever. Let's get the timer started and I'll go through some statistics and some information for you whilst it's boiling. MSR claim, whilst using MSR ISO Pro Fuel, it will boil 16 litres of water in 60 minutes. That's 2 litres of water boiled using 1 ounce of fuel. When you purchase this stove, obviously the gas canisters are not included. So the results are in. 2 cups of water, which is 500 mils, took a total of 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So that's not bad for such a lightweight and small stove. Even though it's not going to be as fast as they claim to do 1 whole litre, it's still pretty fast. It is strong and robust, and these wide pot supports offer extra stability. There is such good tensioning on these legs. I used it over twice a day for over 7 months, and not once has this stove failed me. These serrated edges keep the pots in place, and it's suitable for so many different types of stoves and pots. It is classed as wind resistant. It has got this wind clip technology on it, which means that it keeps that flame going even when wind is present. The cross section over the burner head stops sudden gusts of winds blowing the flame out completely, and it does work well as it's split into thirds so the flame keeps on going. I have seen this price as little as $32.99 here in the UK, and online I've seen it in the US for about $45. Right, let's talk about some cons, because after using it for so many months, day in, day out, there's going to be some problems. Now, the first thing I noticed that was noticeable was the wind. Now, even though it didn't necessarily blow out the flame, it did reduce the boil time, because what would happen is any wind, I'd say above about 10 miles an hour, would affect the amount of flame boiling the water, which meant it boiled a lot slower, which means that you use more fuel. So it wasn't too much of a problem, but it was noticeable, especially on the simmer setting. It wasn't so bad when it was powered up quite high. To combat this issue, you could purchase a windshield, which means that you put that around the stove whilst the wind is blowing onto it, which means that it's not going to be blowing out as often. Another thing that you can do is just take extra fuel canisters, knowing that it might not last as long as it says, especially if you're going on a long backpacking trip or camping trip. Another slight con is the fact that it can get extremely noisy. So not so bad on the simmer setting, but when you turn this up full, it does sound actually like a rocket, hence the name Pocket Rocket. So that's just something to be mindful of if there's lots of people camping nearby. Another problem is that there is no integrated lighter, but there are a lot of stoves without this feature. Just make sure you've always got a lighter and some spare matches with you. There is a new stove in the MSR range called the MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe. Now, this doesn't replace the Pocket Rocket 2, it sits alongside it within the range. It's 10 grams heavier, but it does have a pressure regulator, a broader burner head with wind lip, and also built-in ignition, so you don't need to worry about carrying a lighter. But it is over £30 more expensive. To summarise, if you're looking for a lightweight, affordable, fast boiling stove that you can throw in your backpack and not really notice, then the MSR Pocket Rocket 2 is for you. I would recommend it because it is so reliable, and I will continue using it for hopefully many more years to come. I will of course put all the details in the description box below for you, where you can find it, and if you've got any further questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it has helped, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye!